Hi, happy day. Thank you for visiting my channel and stuff. If you're new here, my name is Miriam. I am awake. I'm here. I'm up. Spring is like just so close, and my allergies are even more different. I have allergies every day, but still very itchy. Yeah, if you found me, it's because hello. You know? It's because hello, essentially. Um, we're trying to wake up for a little bit now. I've been up, moving around, let out the animals, let them do their business, made coffee for the partner, and I'm still like, my eyes are just still so like sleepy. So, here I am. I'm here. Anyway, if you're new here, I speak with people, angels, guides, your past on loved ones, apparently. A lot of things, a lot of people. I get messages, and sometimes I be spitting bars, and that just be resonating with people. And if you're one of those people, yay. And if you're not, that's okay. No pressure. Look, it's like you are for the first time living. And it's very interesting. Like you are now recognizing, like, oh wait, this doesn't really apply to me like in the way that I thought. Wait, this isn't a rule for real. Like one of my abusers, she was a teenage girl, and the one of the things she did, aside from the physical, sexual, and all the other tortures, um, there was mental torture, and one of those was instilling certain superstitions, like don't walk around with one shoe on, it's bad luck. So even sometimes as an adult, I have to remind myself, fuck you, bitch. 3 minutes in. Um, Not even 3 minutes, 2:48. But straight up, like sometimes you have to just be like, that isn't my story. And also, sometimes having one shoe on and one shoe off can be a lucky situation. Whatever. Even if that is some type of superstition or thing, that was not the person to instill any types of trust in my superstition because they had no positive intent for me. Yet I still carry that around for a lot of my childhood. I think I was probably like a teenager whenever I was like, actually, first of all, why would that even be bad luck? Like usually whenever it's like, don't walk under a ladder, don't let a black cat cross your path or whatever. Like certain things can kind of be like, oh, these are indicators of bad luck. But it's like, yeah, if you walk under a ladder, it's a precarious place to walk. Wouldn't recommend it. Ladders fall, things fall from ladders, people fall from ladders. Bad luck. Breaking a mirror can be bad luck. Cause like, oh, you'll have 7 years of bad luck if you break a mirror. Yeah, cause like, you know how long if you're living in the same place that you're finding shards of glass whenever you break something. When you break glass, and like randomly you're just walking, you can't even walk barefoot in your space anymore because you just can't get it all. Apparently, if you use white bread, that'll help pick up all the glass. Anyway, but it's like all these little things that you're like, oh, this was not really for me in the first place. This was not even like, this was made up to scare me. Um, and sometimes it's by other people and outside forces, but a lot of times it's from yourself, or from you, not yourself, but from you and your egos. Your egos are each these irrational fears. which you figured out, essentially. You've figured out a while ago, and so you've been living life accordingly. Um, and after doing it, essentially, you planted your seed in the soil, and you've been under the soil and doing work, and nobody knows. Now, at this point, you're popping up with your first sprouts of like, I'm free. I can spread my wings. I can do literally whatever I want right now. Like literally whatever I want. And it's also like, of course there will be steps. Of course there is a process towards the end goal. And if you work towards it, you most likely will achieve it. Whatever it is. If you spent all of your time and energy on it, you most likely will be able to master it, monetize it, find joy in it, make it easier, all the whatever it is. I guess master is the same. But now you're free. Now you're looking around and you're like, oh, yeah, those rules aren't my rules. Those are rules that I made up or other people made up. Or, oh, it's so interesting to think that I was stuck believing that in order for me to make money, I have to be miserable at my job. Not even like just have you. It's almost like anytime you had a job that was too fun or easy, you felt like you didn't earn your money, and you would make it harder on yourself by shining and being a golden child or whatever. I don't know. And you would make it this elite level, like, oh wow, they're so impressed by me every day, so I need to make sure that every day I show up as the best version of me, and that's terrifying because then it's like, oh, am I as good as I was on the day that you met me? Whenever I was able to mask for as long as it was for the interview, and I fooled you, and then your imposter syndrome starts to kick in, and you're at the point where you're just like, fuck all that, imposter. You're the imposter in me. Get out. Bye. And as opposed to being like, okay, I'm an imposter, all of this stuff, you're like, hey, that thought is an imposter on me. You are imposing your position, and I postpone these delegations. And in the meantime, you're in prison. Either come back reformed or be executed. And so you're actually doing the things. And I think you aren't aware of all the things you're doing to 8:38 as I say this. All the things that you're doing in order to honor yourself as of late. And it's still like that ebb and flow of like, yes, you're setting boundaries, but then you just have to wait for somebody to push on the boundary to make sure it's set all the way. And sometimes you're having the conversations in the moment, but you still have to wait and see what happens from that. Sometimes you are planting the seed and you have to wait for the seed to be planted. 8:48 as I say this. So, it's just in the meantime while you're waiting to see what's going on, you don't have to be working all the time. So if you have put work in to something, sometimes you got to just let it be. You got all the laundry together. You sorted them if you sort laundry. You hauled them to the washer and you turn the washer on. You put all the stuff in there that you like. It says there's this amount of time. During that time, are you staring at the washer, making sure that it's being washed? Or are you going to go do something else? Like, maybe watch a show. Maybe fold other laundry that just came out of the dryer. Maybe paint. Maybe create something. Maybe go to the park. Maybe wash some dishes. That's a lot of water all at once. Sometimes, like from my place, like it'll be like taking hot water. Um, but yeah, there's just a lot of opportunity in the moments of waiting. And it's not always opportunity to work harder. And it's so hard to believe it because in this world, everything is about productivity and industrialization and being profitable and being useful. But baby, I'm useless. I'm gonna be useless to everybody, straight up, 100%. If I'm not one with myself, or if I'm not actively healing those things. I don't want to be used. So I don't want to be useful. I can be utilized because I do have some utility. I have skills. I have a certain set of skills, and I can apply those in a large facet of genres. I don't know if those words are correct. 11 as I say this. Um, and you specifically have been living your life accumulating these skills, this very specific set of skills. And now someone has taken yourself and held it captive. And really, it's all the egos in you. So now you gotta somehow Liam Neeson slash John Wick their asses to get your baby out of there. And that's yourself. Okay? It's it's okay. It's not your fault. Y'all, I've been making music past few days. I have a free trial on a sound making thing. So like there's like little loops and stuff like that. So then I can make my own beats and all that. And then so what I've been doing, one of my first, I've made songs before, but usually like I'll write down a lyric and stuff like that. But the past three I think I made was all freestyle, and you could tell, you could tell, and you could tell that they're produced by me, a person, a regular schmegular, have no music theory, have no any of that. And I know for a fact that whenever I was a kid, I wanted to be a singer. Um, I've been in a few things, like I've acted. Um, I know I've always known that I wanted to reach a lot of people in general, in some way. But more than anything, I always knew that I liked singing, and that's the only time I don't really feel scared around people. Oh, when I was a kid, and had a few months away from my mom, I would still get to see her, but for a few months away from my mom, and I had this little CD player, and there's this song. Follow me and everything's alright. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night. 'Cause if you follow me, I will guarantee you won't find nobody else like me. And while I would listen to that song on repeat to fall asleep simultaneously, my mom was hating that song because my ex-stepdad would call her and leave that voicemail, a song, him singing that song to her. And music just has so much meaning to so many people. And sometimes it's debating your existence because your ex won't leave you alone with it. And sometimes it is a shining light to a little girl. The one that tucks her in at night, whenever her mom wasn't there to do it. And Even if it's some lame, cheesy thing that somebody hears 50 years from now, if one little girl is playing it on repeat one day and it helps her through something, that's what it's about. That's what these videos are about. That's what my whole life is about. Because sometimes that little girl's me. Sometimes I need to be there for myself. And as an adult, I've been able to. As this person you see in front of you today, very well put together, by the way. But there are so many times that I am so selfish in doing things for myself now. Because I've been taking the time to listen to her. And I'm always going to cry whenever I talk about that, because that song really does, like, take me back there. I used to sleep under a desk because I didn't want to share a bed with my abusers. So I would find a small area and sleep under a desk and turn my CD player on. And I would listen to it again and again and again and again and again until I fell asleep. There was just something so happy about it. There was just something so plucky and jaunty and safe. Maybe it was the dad I never had, you know? Guess I wanted a country dad, but every father figure I had up until that point was meh, to say the least. So there's something that you're going to be putting out there. You specifically. And I would love to be like, it's just one of you. Oh, it's just you specifically, but I'm sorry, bud. You're in a group. You're in a group of people that found me. And most likely, all of y'all share a similar goal. And y'all are all going to do it in different ways. Some of them might be pretty similar, but they're not exactly the same. And they never can be. And they never will be. No matter how much you try. All are different entities, different essences. So literally, even if all of you who watch this end up making videos and doing the same thing that I'm doing, which is talking at a camera, even if it's nonsense, eventually you can get into a flow state and anybody has the ability to be an oracle. Anybody has the ability to be a prophet. Some people naturally have that gift and share it, and it's from exercising it. In the same way, like some people naturally have a big old booty donk. I'm not one of those people. Okay? Some people naturally, their back goes like this, and then 90-degree angle out to booty, and then around, and it's natural. And I know this because I know her, and I've seen her. And I'm upset that she clearly has all the skill, and the ability, and the genetics. Now, could I do more squats? Absolutely. But I just wasn't gifted with the motivation to do squats or the knees to do so. Some people have a gift. That doesn't mean I'm never going to do a squat. I've done squats before. I have to alter my form based off of the way that my proportions are. I've got short thigh bones and long shins. Running long distances is bad for my shins. Long shins are not good for running long distances. They're good for short bursts of energy or really short femurs too. Anyway, those are my abilities and capabilities. Certain things that I can do a little bit better than mediocre is I can kind of carry a tune. Not an amazing singer, but I can match a note. I can sing that note. It'll be in my voice, but it'll match the note. It'll be the same. C, C, A, A, whatever. I can speak with numbers. I understand numbers. I had a natural affliction by the numbers. And so whenever it came to learning all the esoteric things or the Bangladeshi, the history or whatever, just learning about what has been studied about numerology and numbers so far, it made it a lot easier to grasp because I already had this relationship with numbers beforehand. Not everybody has that. I have that relationship with colors, numbers, um, letters, because those are all languages. Um, because those are all languages. Anyway, that took me out of it. Just there. Oh yeah, but you have this natural gift of whatever it is. You have this natural gift of whatever. And maybe that's actually your gift. Is to be like, whatever. It's whatever. It's whatever. Yeah, it's whatever. But also apply that to your fucking life. Because you're always like, yeah, it's whatever. I'm chill. It's cool. I'm chill. I'm chill. But are you? Because how come you aren't putting your stuff out unless it's perfect? How come you're going through and rewatching your stuff and making sure that everything is right? Like, literally, I'm not going to go back and rewatch any of this. This is not for me. By law. By universal law. I mean, the things that I'm going to glean for it, I promise you, like, somehow my own video will probably pop up on my shit whenever it's time for me to say something to myself. But for the most part, like, I'm not going to go back and be like, man, did you notice that booger in her nose the whole time? Quit looking at my nose. Quit looking. It's 2 black holes, okay? But I'm not. That doesn't mean I haven't been there before. Not like with my singing. Most of the time I'm like, well, because I'm not a great singer. I pretty much sound like this whenever I sing, except my voice goes up and down. And so that means I'm nasally, I'm stiffened, I'm coughing, I'm all the things. And that often makes me want to not present my art or my thoughts. And writing songs is something that is my journaling. It's a lot easier to do that and then a lot easier. I don't know if that's the correct word. But it is easier to go back at some point and be like, where was I at this time? And I have other songs and I have other things and it's only like 1 or 2 other songs, but I'm not necessarily sharing them or anything. There are plenty of times where I've just recorded myself with voice recording because that is my journal. That's what I do. I talk to it. I can write. I can write, and I can spell. And my hand hurts whenever I do it. It just does. Things don't come out the way I want whenever I'm writing because I can lose things if I'm not writing it the right way. My handwriting changes a lot as it happens, and that can be very overstimulating essentially. So I will still write. I will still journal, and do all of the things. Except whenever I'm journaling, it's often like highly channeled, and I haven't quite. I'm telling them, and I haven't quite gotten the hang of it yet. Even with all this stuff. So on my Patreon, I used to like post like at 3 a.m. and all of that because I was up at 3 a.m. Because the guides, ancestors, all the things, like I was being told stuff. And I had to start setting boundaries because if I don't sleep at night, I am like miserable throughout the day. And every once in a while I could catch a nap. But if I don't catch that nap, like I literally have meltdowns by the end of the day. And so I need my sleep. And so I was like, hey guys, I am so thankful because they're excited. They're excited to share their stuff. They're excited to get their messages out to whoever they get them out to, you know? And I still have to set boundaries because they're still trying to teach me something. And that's the safest space for us to set boundaries is with our family, with our ancestors, with the unconditional love that is the universe. And even saying like, what? I'm setting boundaries with the universe? Yes. And so I get my full night's sleep. And they know that if there's something that's meant to happen, I will let them know before I log on and all that and say hit record. I let them know, hey, I'm about to hit record. So start lining up, queue up, you know, and like we'll talk about it. Or whatever comes out, comes out. Um and it's also really only people or angels and all that who not appreciate, who are thankful for the way I deliver things. Maybe it's because I'm a lot like them or because I'm willing to do it or whatever. But there's times when there are energies that leave where they're like, thank you. Because there are so many people, even not now, like tomorrow, the next day, 35 years from now, if YouTube is still around, if when YouTube is still around, literally this video might have found them then. These videos might find people when I'm dead and gone and old. And that's the time they're supposed to be really resonating with that person. They haven't even been born yet. 35 years from now, that means somebody who's born today will be 35 years old then. And very possibly going through these things that you personally might be around a similar age group, and even if you don't feel like you're the same age group or like think you are, I bet like in the soul. I bet in the soul. Anyway, I've got 495. It's been nice talking to you. What's also really nice too is that this collective makes me feel like it's really low stakes. Like I don't have to do things. Like I don't have to give myself or, even do messages or whatever. That like it's nice that for the most part that I've seen, everyone kind of understands that this is for me. To like let it out to you guys, and whoever wants to receive it can receive it. But it's been really nice to just see the people who enjoy my energy. So, and I am getting to know you guys on the sagas is pretty cool too, because y'all are all pretty cool. Also, I just wanted to say right here at the end, and a big thank you. This past Friday, I had an interview at like 1:30 scheduled with one of you guys, and you reached out to me the day before and said, hey, I'm actually not feeling comfortable with it and I don't want to. And that made me so happy and proud that you were comfortable being like, no, actually, I don't want to. I don't want to do all that stuff. And for whatever reason, and still didn't like force yourself to go through with it anyway, essentially. And I encourage anyone to do that. Throughout this month of March, we have like 8 more interviews scheduled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. Wait, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 6 more interviews because I stopped doing Wednesdays. No, it is 8. 8. 8 more interviews for the rest of this month. And if any of y'all ever feel like, you know what, I'm just not feeling it, or even if you're like, I just want to do it on a different day because I woke up and things just weren't right, that's okay too. So yeah, it's it's been really nice just getting to know everyone and getting to see who is resonating with me. And honestly, validation, confirmation, affirmation. Um, that I resonate with you guys too. Like whenever we talk and I see y'all and we have these conversations, I'm like, oh, there's a little bit of Miriam in there. Just like there's a little bit of you and me. There's a little bit of you and everybody in you. And being able to find those things and find delight in them as opposed to in the past where I have found people who are similar to me more jarring and more frustrating, especially when I was younger. Because I'm like, you're not doing it exactly the way I do it. But also, why would they? They are not me. They've got so much stuff going on. Anyway, I don't even know why I'm on that. Anyway, I'm gonna go and live my life and do stuff and maybe make music, maybe not, maybe. Um, but it's Sunday. Daylight savings time begins today. Did it already begin? Did it already happen? Or is it tonight? Doesn't matter. It's March 9th, 2025. It is a 3-day for the world in a 3-month on a 9-year. So try and find some joy and happiness and sparks of fun times, you know. Oh, and in the meantime, lovies, keep a lookout for the numbers. And you can say synchronized or whatever. You can do whatever you want. You don't gotta look out for the numbers either. They'll find you.